This video is a bit different from the videos I normally do. It's more of an educational video on how to teach reading. Now, reading is a skill that most persons don't know how to master, and some persons might never know. But this video is just to share some of what I know, being a reading specialist, on ways that you can teach reading where it's understandable for students and for adults. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, now the first way that you need or you should teach reading, you need to know the level where the student or the adult is at. So the first thing you need to do, the first step is to assess the student or assess the adult. And what I mean when I say assess, I simply mean to see what level they are reading at so you can best meet their need. If you don't assess them, it's like you are going to give medicine to a patient and you don't know what their sickness is. Okay, so you must assess them first. Now there are two ways that you can assess the student or the adult. One is called the formal assessment and the other one is called the informal assessment. The formal assessment is where they do standardized testing, and the informal assessment, they can simply do reading inventories or they can do 3-minute assessment tests. Okay, so you must assess them, and you can research different reading assessment online to know which level they are at, but you have to assess them before you can begin to give any reading medicine. Okay, the second way that you teach reading, after you have assessed the student or the adult, is to choose a strategy. This is where you're going to give them the medicine. Okay, let's say you've assessed them and you say they're reading at this level. So now you're going to choose a way that you're going to teach them so you can bring them to the level they are supposed to be at. Now there are three strategies you can use to teach reading. The first strategy is called the bottom-up strategy. Okay, and it's also called the behaviorist model. Now when I say bottom up, you go from the very bottom to the top level. So the bottom level would be letters. You teach them all letters of the alphabet, starting with vowels first, and their sounds. Then you teach them words. And that's words that have multiple meanings. Also make sure they know the basic sight words as well. Then you teach them how to use those words in sentences. And then you use paragraphs. After your paragraphs, you have text. And text will simply mean essays. Okay? And the final bottom-up strategy is meaning. So this is what you call the bottom-up strategy. They go from bottom, which is letters, the basic level, letters, words, sentences, paragraph, text, and meaning. So once they've mastered all of these, they should be able to understand the meaning, comprehension at this level. Okay? The next strategy is called the top-bottom strategy. Okay? And this is where you don't focus on letters and sounds and words. You use more or less their background knowledge, or what we call a schema, to so they can understand whole text meaning. And this is good to teach students who are learning, or adults who are learning second language, or adults who don't know how to read. You don't want to use sounds and letters to begin off with the adults, because they can get discouraged and feel as though they're at a certain level. So you want to make sure you can use just whole text, where they're reading the text and they are understanding based on what they know and what the text is saying. So that's called the top, bottom. And the last one, the last strategy, is called the interactive model. And interactive does both. It uses the bottom up and the top bottom strategy. Okay, so you can actually switch it out. You can use both. You can use one set, you use both at a time, and you can teach reading that way as well. Okay. Okay, this is just to summarize what I've said. I'm giving you 2 ways to teach reading, or to begin teaching reading. And the first one was to assess the student or the teacher. Okay? We're to see what their problem is, what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths. And you do it with formal tests or informal testing. Okay? The second way, after you assess them, is to choose a strategy. Are you going to teach them the bottom up, from letters to meaning, top bottom, whole text, or interactive model where you're doing both of them? So you're going to choose a reading strategy for them. Okay? And I have 2 tips that you need to know when you're teaching reading. Use lots of resources, especially graphic organizers and interactive websites. Okay? And of course you need to be patient, because reading is something that if you don't understand it at a younger level, when you get older, it's hard to do it and it's harder to understand. So it's honestly better to teach reading when students are learning how to talk and learning how to understand text and words and meanings. Okay guys, we've come to the end of my video on how to teach reading, and to give you some additional help, I have 3 excellent websites that can help you to teach reading and to give you additional resources that can help you in your quest. www.starfall.com, it's an excellent website. Also readingrockets.com, another excellent website, and another one I've just researched is called getreadytoread.com. So these are 3 excellent reading websites that can assist you with resources and assist you with ways that you can start your journey in learning how to teach an adult or teach a student on how to read. And that's it for this video. And of course, if you have any questions about what I've said, any suggestions of what I've said, you can just comment in the comment section. And of course, like this video if I'm trying my hardest to get to 100 subscribers. So let's go on, start sharing this video, start sharing my message, sharing my channel, so we can get to 100 subscribers and I can start giving out some monstrous giveaways. So thanks guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye. Okay, here is my first bracelet I got from Pandora.